Hello, beautiful, beautiful people. I'm back again. I'm going to continue down the journey if you're joining me. So I think today I'm going to kind of go where I started to notice things. It was kind of like a highlighter is the best way I can explain it. Just kind of going through my work day or my home day, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I wonder why that, like, I said at work one day, oh, I wonder why I don't like hugs. Like, why? Like, where did that even start, And then I just would, like, ponder it, right? I didn't really dig deep or anything. It was just little things highlighted here and there that I was noticing, but nothing that was like flagging me down, right? At my job, I had to unfortunately let a couple staff members go, just due to whatever, it doesn't matter. But in this whole situation, the employees tried to gaslight me into believing a situation happened a certain way and it didn't. So much so as we ended up having to go get video recording to prove, I guess, to us and to them that what they're saying did not happen, right? So they kept going. They kept trying to gaslight me. It went on for almost a month. And then we were finally able to let them go. And that really got me. That I was just like, how can someone do that? Like, why would you even think of that? Why would that even be a thing? Like, it just tell the person what happened and they will write a report and that's it. Like, why are we hiding it? Why are we lying about it? Why are we, I just couldn't comprehend why you would gaslight somebody. Like, I looked it up, I started reading about it. I'm like, oh my God, this is weird. Like, why would you even do that, right? And yeah, you got to be careful with the terminology out there. But dude, I know it was outright gaslighting, and that threw me. That really threw me for a loop, and that was about 2 years ago, and that's kind of when it kind of started like spinning downwards, I guess. That's not unusual for me because that has happened throughout my life, but I understand more so now why. But we'll get to that a little later. Yeah, so it was it was a very interesting experience, and honestly, if it didn't happen, I don't know. I mean, I'm so blessed that everything happens for a reason, and I do truly believe that. And we are all on such a different journey, right? Like, what I'm here to do and what you're here to do, it could be very different, but our paths might cross. They might not, right? And so what karma other people are living, whether good or bad, that's them. That's not us, right? So also reminding yourself of that, right? Like, I've done my karma. Like, I have been very faithful, whether I showed it or not. I've realized that I did hide it because I think it was another thing that people would talk down upon, right? So I just learned to hide everything, right? Just I will present what you want me to present, and that's the way I'll be for you. And then I'll present a different way for you. And I'm just pleasing people, right? So that's how you lose yourself, right? Because I'm person A for this person. I'm person B for this person. I'm person C for this person. But I can be D and E for this person. Sometimes they'll let me be A. So it's just trying to keep all of that in check, right? Like, and if you're going with different people and I am like an energy source and I didn't know it as a kid, and I would get like, I look back and I was like, I was so exhausted and I was so depressed and sad, and like as I was looking back, I'm like, I don't even really have childhood memories. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, you have your typical ones that people tell you about. I don't know, did they really happen? Right now, I don't have memory of that. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but if I don't have a memory of it, dude, I ain't gonna believe you. That is where I'm at. Thank you. Sorry, that's specifically for someone if they ever watch this. Yeah, so I did that. I did that for a long time. A long time. When I moved out to Banff, I think I definitely found a bit of myself. Like I said, those people did help me. But then I reclused again, you know? It's the way I was programmed. I'm learning now, right? That I see from a different perspective, a different vantage point, a different, hearing words differently, kind of like, I wonder. A lot more wonder. So I've got my wonder back, you know? I'm intrigued. I want to know more, right? And I think sometimes that's programmed into us that it's this way and that's it, and boom, done. Or that's how I was raised, right? So again, different. It's going to be different. I hope no one else was raised like this. But if they were, we need to change it. Like, it's got to stop. I am stopping it with my kids. They will not live like that. Period. Sorry, I get a little feisty sometimes if I am very if it hits close to my heart, I will fight for it. So to go back to like a few years ago, so like I said, the whole 2 years, the gaslighting, and then the I don't hug people, I was like telling new staff, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not a hugger, right? So don't hug me, but I'll hug people if they need a hug. Because I have a heart of gold, and I'll give you a hug if you need it. I don't want a hug, you know? But that's just the way it was for me. And I always needed my personal space. Like, you can't come close to my aura, Like, don't enter. You can't enter. And honestly, if someone stands too close to me, I will back up and usually make a scene, and then they feel awkward. And I don't do it on purpose. I really don't. It's just literally, I cannot be that close to you, and I have to move, and I can't not move. So if I've ever done that to you, I also am sorry. Again, not you, me. And I think that's a good point, right? I think a lot of times we take things so personally, and honestly, man, I did. Anything anybody said, I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, that's me. You know, you're in a staff meeting and they talk, you know, do a general announcement, and I'm like, oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, oh my God, I didn't do it, man. It wasn't me. It was somebody else. You know it was somebody else. Like, stop, right? So just remembering that, like, it's like if they have something, like, they're gonna just they're projecting, right? So it's what they gotta work on, not necessarily what you gotta work on, but you still gotta work on yourself, right? So sometimes seeing those projections, like the way you're projecting on somebody, helps, right? Because you're like, oh my God, I gotta fix that. My kids helped me with that, actually. Unfortunately, my youngest did help me with that. Um, so I was not in a great place, I wouldn't say. And so I must have been projecting that on to him. Um, so he projected the behavior right back. Why not? He's a kid, right? So, and then once you're like, this is not him. Like, what is he doing? And then you're looking at, I'm like, oh my God, that's what he's seeing me look like right now. Like, sad and depressed and grumpy and meh. And, the hugging slowed down and he wouldn't give me a kiss anymore, which is fine. I have boys. It stops. I get it. But for him, it was like, this is weird. And then I finally caught on, right? Like, I'm like, oh shit. What is happening here, right? Like, what is going on, right? And by that time, I had been overworking. I opened a new service, and I was working way too much, so I was really burnt out. And then I was thinking so much about all the other things, like the no hugging and the no touching and the gaslighting, and then everything was just like building and building and building. And then that's when it really, like, words started to really get highlighted. Like I said before, like, it was like somebody would be talking and then all of a sudden, like, 3 words in their sentence was like, change, right? And I'm like, oh my God, she didn't do that, but that's the way it felt to me, right? Like, it was like, one day was like ego, and it was just like, what? And then it sat there, and then, you know, like, things were just like popping. That's the best way. It was just, it's kind of unreal, right? But that's how it felt. It was just like, boom, boom. And then I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'm seeing things a little bit different, right? And so that really got me even further down, right? I was like, oh my God. So I ended up taking a little leave of absence, which I am so glad I did. It was like an energy detox, and I don't even remember the last time I may have done something like that. Like, I literally cut all energies out. Like, for the first month, I just did my kids and me. That's it. I got them to school, did their thing, did me. Those were my tasks. Kids and me. That's it. And rest. I just needed to sleep. I just needed sleep, right? And I think my depression had been coming back, and then my anxiety was through the roof. I had startle reflexes. I couldn't go to the grocery store because everyone, then when they would walk behind me, I'd jump. And it gets exhausting if you've ever been through it. It's just your body is just like all the time in fight, fret, what is it? Fight, flight, or freeze. And yeah, it can be exhausting, right? And sometimes, like, I couldn't get myself out of it. Which is, like, it is what it is. I mean, I just had to keep going, right? I just kept going. I'm almost 42 and I've just kept going. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired, but there's so much more to come. Like, so much more to come. That is helping me get through this. If I can get over this, I got like 3 more things to do, and then it is gonna be so peaceful. It's gonna make so many people mad. So many people, they're gonna be very mad at me. But I have learned that all those people that are gonna be mad at me, they don't even love me. They might say it, but they don't. Because now that I've been working with other people, I used to work in the community. I worked with all ages. I worked with people with dementia, with special needs. So I learned a lot about energy, which I already knew some, right? And it validated my feelings that I was told my whole life that weren't a thing, right? Like, that is not what I'm feeling. This is who you trust, like things like that, right? So I was starting to learn, like, oh, I remember saying to one boss, every time she would come up to me, she would be like, oh, can I talk to you? And my response always was, oh, did I do something wrong? And every time they're like, no, like, stop it. Like, every single time for like 5 years. Like, I can't even believe it. Now you look back, right? Like, oh my God, like, why? Well, they just want to say, like, can you work an extra half hour tomorrow? And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Like, just crazy, right? Now that I look back, it's just absolutely nuts, right? I still can't believe I've lived like this for this long. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm still here. The universe is amazing. Miracles are natural. Miracles are everywhere. And I'm so thankful for that. 'Cause honestly, I don't think I'd be here. When I look back at all the miracles that have saved my life, like literally have saved me from dying to be here. I'm here for a reason. That tells you something. I'm like the cat. What did they have, like 9 lives or something? I don't know. That's me. It's not making people very happy. I think they wanted me to turn out a certain way. But my free spirit has always been in there. It's in here, guys. Watch out. Yeah. Things that people thought that maybe I would never remember. Interesting. Things that I would never remember again. I wonder why someone would do that. Sounds a little controlling, but I don't know. It's kind of where I'm thinking we're going with that, but so I'm going to stop this one here. We'll end it with that. And hopefully I will post another one soon. Thank you. I'm sending you all the love. The love.